Hey everybody, this is Alan. I'm going to be doing my green pozole recipe this evening for my coworkers, and I'm going to upload this so I can maintain the knowledge and share it. So the first thing I did was get a large, ginormous pot, and got about 2 gallons of purified drinking water. Just gotta put the water in the pot. That's about it. And when all is said and done, I estimate it to probably be about this high, because we're gonna put the pork in, we're gonna put all the other stuff in, and the hominy in, and it's gonna raise it to right about here when it's all done. So that's the first step, and I'll just do little cuts here throughout the process. The next step I like to do is I will get 2 white onion and 2 just chunks of garlic, and I'm gonna go ahead and take them off and do all the garlic stuff. So this is what it's about to look like. Ready? All right, I just took off the first. I cut them in half, and then I took off the first layer on the onion, and then I took off the skins on the garlic. So it looks like that. I'll probably just maybe do one more cut and maybe cut up this a little bit. So I'll do that right now real quick. All right, and now that it's just chopped up more, I'm gonna take this and just dump it all in the pot. So all this goes on the pot. And basically, it's all gonna break apart. The onion's gonna break apart as it goes, so it'll be good. And then I want to then put a little bit of some salt. Now, golden rule: don't ever over salt. Always under salt. Always under salt, and then add as you go, because it's very, very, very hard later on as you're testing the broth. Because if you oversalt it, you're going to ruin your soup. So now that that's in, we're going to put the lid on. We're going to put the lid on. We're going to set this on probably medium. There's not much room to work here. Gonna set this on medium heat and just let that start getting warm. And the next phase is to chop all the meat. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop this now. I'll show you the meat I'm gonna use. Mainly you can use pork butt, pork shoulder, pork chops. I like to have meat with bone in it because it gives a good flavor on the broth. Also the skin, it sounds kind of gross, but I'll leave the skin on also because it'll give the more flavor to the broth as well. But I'll show you once everything is beginning. All right, the next step is really to do the cutting of the meat as the pot on the stove is preparing. I call this phase 2, chopping the meat. As you can see, I have a crap load of meat here. Basically, I'm making this for work, and this will feed like 80 to 100 people. I mean, it makes a ton of food. I'm doing double meat, double hominy. Rule number 1 when it comes to pork: always wash the pork. You want to always wash the pork prior to cutting. So this one right here is just a boneless loin pork steak. This one right here is one's upside down. Pork neck bone. Pork neck bone. I think I have another pork chops. This is pork chops. Pork butt. Pork butt. And I got 1. Here's another one. 2. This is a bigger one. 3. So 3, I got 3 pork butts. And then this one is pork testicles. No, I'm just kidding. No, pork bellies. That's what this is. Pork bellies. Yeah, you probably won't need all this meat. If probably normal amount would be perhaps 2 of these and maybe 1 of these. So probably would want to make, if you're just making it for a family, a large family size, these 3. All right, so I'm going to begin washing this. We will then get the cutting board, start cutting up all the meat. We're going to put the meat in here, and then we'll fill it up, and then dump the meat into the pot. Oh, almost forgot. I did pick up some chicken because a couple people at work can't eat pork, so I'm going to be also doing a little bit of chicken pozole. But for the chicken pozole, I'm going to put the chicken in the crock pot. Also, the juices from the pozole. Before I put the pork in, I'm going to take the juice and put it in here as well. I'll show you once we get to that step. All right, so I went ahead and I had washed the meat. We're gonna just start with these 2 meat at first. But basically, you're gonna see kind of the skin on the meat. I leave this on because for me, this becomes extremely tender and very, very, very tasty. So I will actually leave that part of it on. And when when I'm working it, we're gonna cut this. I'll just take a little bit here, show you on here. We're gonna cut it into a little bit of a cube bite-sized part. So we cut it roughly about that big, enough for a good bite size. So we're gonna just be cutting. It's just a lot of cuts. So like right here, here's 4 pieces right here, all ready to go. It's got the skin on, and we're just going to take it right here and we're going to put it right here into the bowl, and we're going to fill it up. All right, so I went ahead and I actually put another, where is that? 1 gallon more water to bring it to 3, because I need to take a little bit of the water, which I already did. I took a little bit of the water out of there and then put it inside this crock pot because I'm making the chicken green pozole. So I put the water in there, and then I just took the chicken and then I shredded the chicken and just put the chicken in there. So basically it's water, white onion, garlic, just whatever, just the pieces that were in the pot. I just put a little bit in there, and then the shredded chicken. So we're gonna just let this kind of rest for the next phase. Put this on there. It smells really good in here already, but right now we're gonna just, ooh, that's getting piping hot. We're gonna go ahead, and I already got 1 of these all cut up into little cubes. See, they're all like just kind of bite-sized cubes. I left the skin on because the skin is very tasty. It melts like butter in your mouth. See, like even this piece has a lot of skin on it, but good little cubes. And we're gonna just drop that in there. Yeah, there we go. And where's the stir? Get your little stir and give it a good little stir. And I got tons more meat left to put in. So I'm just going to keep filling up the bowl, putting it all in, and I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's done. All right, so for this one here, I cut up some more. This one had, I believe this is the pork chop, but it has the bone, which is good because the bone will cook and add flavor to the soup, but also will leave little bone fragments in the bottom of the pot, kind of giving it a fun little, kind of substance or soupy look to it. So this will be going in now. Ooh, this is getting a little hot. Basically, this first step, there's real no time limit. It's just kind of start it, get it hot, cut up the meat before it gets to a roaring boil. Because once the meat is all in, you're gonna then want to bring it to a roaring boil, and then you're gonna want to drop it to probably like medium low and let it cook for about an hour and a half. So a lot more meat needs to be chopped up, and I'll continue. All right, this one here, it's going to be a pork neck. Just going to try to add more kind of bone to the soup, because the bone really gives it a fun look while it's in the soup. And then this one over here is pork bellies, and it looks very similar to bacon. Looks like a real thick bacon. So we'll cut these up, also like in little cubes, and we'll fill this up. All right, this was the neck bone and the pork belly. We're gonna put these now into the pot. At this point, the pot's still going. It's looking pretty good. Level's getting about halfway full already, so let's just put this aside real quick. Okay, dump this in there. Get a better grip on it. Yeah, there we go. So, this is gonna be one full pot when we're all done. Okay, that's a lot of meat in here. Jeez. Okay, give it a good stir. Now you're gonna notice that there is also kind of this foam that builds on the top of it. Some people will like to kind of take off the foam, but there's this kind of foam, but it's okay, just kind of leave it in there. It's just the meat breaking down, the bone breaking down. It's good, so we'll just keep stirring it up. Just a real chunky soup. You know, some parts will have bone. This is kind of like what it looks like. Very delicious chunks. Very chunky, delicious pozole. Okay. All right, so almost done with the meat, and then we're gonna let it. We're gonna put the heat to about a little bit medium or low medium, and then we'll let it rest for about an hour, and then we'll start phase 2. Let's put this back on. All right, I just finished the last of the meat. We're gonna put that now in the pot. This has always been on medium even since I started. So we really wanted to be at a kind of a roaring boil, and it's not really boiling. So I'm gonna switch it to high for a little bit. Once it starts to boil, now that all the meat's about to be put in, we'll then drop it down to medium low. Or actually, no, we'll probably just keep it at medium. Yeah, we'll keep it at medium for an hour. There we go. That's the last of the meat. We'll give it a good stir. So now the pot's a little over halfway, and by the time we put in the green sauce, it's going to raise it to probably about here, and then the hominy will raise it to about here. So it's going to be a very, very full pot when we're done. So yeah, right now we'll just come over here and just crank this all the way up to high. Put this at high, and then we'll drop it down once that starts boiling. Won't take long for sure. All right, so now that this should be boiling. All right, yeah. Okay, see in there, it's so much steam coming up. But yeah, now that's a good boil. Now we're gonna drop it down to a medium and just let it go. So yeah, there we go. Drop this down to medium. Okay, so now it's a medium. Now, as that's cooking, we're now gonna start phase 2, which is making the green. This is green pozole, so we're gonna make the sauce, the green sauce, and basically the main ingredients is tomatillo, jalapeno, chili pasillas, which is pretty much like a chile relleno, and cilantro. We're also gonna get North Suiza, and maybe a little the chicken powder, called the chicken powder, and maybe a little bit of salt as well. Blender, get the blender ready. But for now, we're going to, I have a whole bag of it, of all the other things. Basically, you take off the little skin husk, and you put this in the pot. You want to cut the cut the tops off. You're gonna cut the top off of that. Just toss it in there. Same with this one. You just cut right on the top of it right here. Yeah. Cut that up and put that in here. This is actually gonna go inside the blender, but I'm gonna go ahead and put the rest of these. Take the husks off. So they all have like little husks. Take the husks off, and then I'm gonna fill it to about here with water. So all of it will be in here with water, and then put it on the stove because you want to kind of brown it. You don't want to get it too mushy, but you want to brown it, and then you scoop it all, put it in the blender. I'll get to that step next, but that's pretty much what we're doing to make the sauce. So I'll fill up this right now. Also I forgot to mention, we're going to want to take off, when you cut the pasillas, just see if we can reach in there. Oh man, this is tricky. Yeah, just reach in there, grab the core, and just kind of pull out the core. There you go. So it pretty much just deseeds it, but there's another one in here I forgot to pull out. But yeah, just pull out the core and then put it in there. When you're dealing with jalapenos, I just leave the core in there, but always wear gloves. I learned that the hard way, not wearing gloves, taking seeds off a jalapeno. But yeah, and then I also will just maybe cut this down the middle as well. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, I'm gonna cut them in two. It just makes it blend easier and kind of stack in the pan easier.
It was cute because it was a marathon.
All right, I just put all the vegetables in here, and I filled it up with water. I used filtered water from the filtered machine. So try to use also good water as well. So now we'll put this on the stove. We'll start just kind of high heat, get this to kind of brown, kind of move them around, turn them around, make sure they get nice and brown, kind of soften, and then we'll put it in the blender, which will be the next step. All right, next we're going to go ahead and just wash the cilantro. Kind of give it a good wash. And basically what I just do from this point is just kind of, see if I can do this here. I'm just going to cut it right here. So let me do that real quick. Okay, I just cut it right there, and just grab it with your hands. You don't have to like stem it or anything like that. Just grab it all right here, leave that behind, and you're just gonna put it right here in the blender. Get that all prepped and ready to go. And then our vegetables are still going. A little bit of steam. This may take about 5 minutes, but they'll start to brown. So you just kind of like shift them around, turn them over. But then once those are done, we're going to take some of the water. We're going to take the vegetables and put them in here, the tomatillo, the pasillas, and we'll get some of the water juices and then pour that in there. We'll also, let's see, we'll grab some of this chicken powder. Just kind of put a little bit in here. Quite a lot actually of chicken powder. See, that's another reason why you don't want to over salt, because this chicken powder has a lot of salt. So so we're just prepping that, waiting for that, and we'll continue on. All right, the top layers didn't get as cooked, but the ones below did. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab some of these with the tongs. Just kind of start putting them in there. Yeah, you just want to drop them in there. Get some of these. Yeah, those are getting them nice and cooked, nice and steamy. So just gonna keep grabbing and put them in there. Okay, we'll speed up a little bit of time here. All right, I filled it all up to the top. We still have some more, so we're gonna blend it just to kind of shrink it down a little bit. Okay. Okay, Ninja, really good blender. Next is green sauce. Good consistency. See, it really shrunk it down, but that's going to be the green sauce. It's going to be the green sauce. This also makes the verde salsa too. The green salsa is made similarly to this. So I'm going to put all this in there, do the same step, rinse, repeat. Levels will go up to about here with the rest of that, and then I'll pour it into the pot. All right, I took most of it, put it in here, filled it all the way up to here. Now I'm going to use the rest of this, and I still have some more tomatillos and one more chili pasilla, and a couple jalapenos, because I still got to make the chicken. So I'm going to pretty much do the same steps. I'm going to put those vegetables in there, brown them, blender them, take this juice, and then put it in here. This chicken is looking amazing. So this is going to be pozole with chicken. So that's just on the back burner waiting for its turn. But for now, let's take this off. There. It's stuck. Oh, there it goes. Look at that. Oh, this looks amazing. Smells amazing too. It is a little salty, and that's because of the Norsuiza. I did not put any salt in there, just Norsuiza. But when you put it in here, it should kind of dilute the salt. So That's what it's looking like right in there. It's still kind of doing its little boil. We're at a kind of a medium-low heat. And, you know what? Let me take this out off, actually. Otherwise, that's going to fall in the pot. Yep, that's going to fall in the pot. You know what? Whatever. It's all good. It's all going the same place. All right, and then we pour. This is what gives it the green pozole. This is the green color. So now we pour that in there. The water is actually really good. So we're going to go ahead and take a couple bits of water and just put it in there as well. You know what? Why not? We'll do this. There we go. Just to kind of swish it around, just collect it, and then just, there we go. Waste not, want not, right? All right, and then we give it a good stir. Give it a good stir. And this is almost ready. The next challenging part, that's what it looks like. It looks amazing. That's the chunks of meat, pork. We haven't put the hominy in yet, but the next part, and this is the trickiest part, is the taste test. We need to taste the broth, and at this point we need to decide whether we're putting a little bit more chicken powder in or a little bit more salt in. And this is the most critical part of the soup, because you can screw the whole soup up if you oversalt. So this is probably the most trickiest part. So we're gonna do that taste test here in about 30 minutes. I'm gonna let this cook for 30 more minutes, and then we're gonna add the hominy, and then we'll be good. So we'll wait for the next step. All right, so I have the green sauce here. I did the rest of the vegetables. This is gonna be for the chicken. So we're gonna go ahead and open up the chicken. I'm also getting the hominy ready. I got two cans of Juanita's hominy, which I'm gonna open, drain, get a strainer, pour the white corn in there, and just kind of underwater, just kind of rinse it off. And then I have these two for the chicken. So let's crack that open. Oh, you know, hold on. I'm gonna just forgot to put this again. Okay, we'll just put that in there. And the rest of that water I'll just put into the pot. All right, so this is gonna make this green delicious. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Give it a good stir here. And then what I'm gonna do is another kind of secret of mine. What I like to do is I'll put this on warm overnight, so all the juices and everything fuse together. You know how they always say the spaghetti tastes better the next day? Kind of the same thing. Like once I'm done cooking this pot, I'm going to bring it to once I have the final step of putting that in there, I'm going to bring it to a roaring boil and just let it, just turn off the stove and just let it finish itself off overnight. In the morning it'll still be warm to the touch, but all those juices and everything will really seep together and look really, really good and taste amazing. So we're just going to give this a little bit more time, and then we'll put the hominy in on both of them, and then we'll do one final shot. I'm going to get a little bowl out. We'll make the bowl with the garnishes and show how I like to eat it. All right, so now I went ahead and I opened both of these cans, which I'm going to start with the chicken one first. Yeah, you just want to open it, drain it, you know, kind of just like hold the lid and drain the water. Drain the water, and then kind of getting it ready. You want to put in the strainer right here. Oh, something red right there. There we go. And once that's all done, there we go. You just give it a good rinse. Kind of rinse it. And just rinse it a little bit. Rinse it. Okay. And then once that's nice and rinsed, we're going to open it and pour it. There you go. Give it a good stir. So it's going to be real chunky. Look at that. Chunky, like chicken. Oh yeah. Pozole, green pozole chicken. Very tasty. So I'll let this sit for another half an hour, and then I'll make a bowl of it and show you guys what I like, how I like to prepare my bowl. All right, so I just opened up the big can of hominy, both of them, and I already poured one of them in there. But let's go ahead and pour the final bit of strained hominy in here, and we're pretty much done. We're just gonna let it go for another 30 minutes on this one, and then I'll let it bring it to a boil, and then close the kitchen down, let it sit overnight, cook in its juices. But yeah, this is green pozole. Very tasty, very, very, very delicious, and very, very chunky. Like I said, I did double meat on this one. Just loads and loads and loads of meat. Could feed just 100 people. It's incredibly delicious. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. I'm Monkey V, and yeah, this is green pozole. I'll do some more cooking videos as well. Just want to preserve some of these recipes and share as well. So take care, everybody. All right, and this is the final step. This is just want to show you guys how I like to make it. So this is the green pozole right here. What I like to put in is a little bit of onions. So we'll put a little bit of onions in there. A little bit of onions. A little bit of cilantro. Some cilantro. Some cabbage. This is some cabbage right here. Some radishes. Kind of radishes like that, and lime juice. You definitely need lime juice. It brings it to a whole nother level. A little squirt of lime juice, and tapatio's works very well. I've also made my homemade chili paste. Would you like homemade chili paste or tapatio? Okay, so we'll do a little bit of
chili paste for me.
Extra chili paste. This is very, very hot, guys. This is my Carolina Reaper chili paste, which is very tasty as well. It gives a smoky flavor. But yeah, and then we just kind of stir it up. This is what it looks like, and it is just all the flavors mixed together. It's bomb. Bomb.com.
Enjoy.
Oh, and I almost forgot. This is menudo mix. Menudo mix also is very, very, very good to add. It has like oregano and everything. So you just want to put a dash of a menudo mix in there. Almost forgot. That's a really important step. Now it's ready. Now you blend it in together, and then you enjoy.